Man, oh man, what a week for WWE. Where do you begin? Where do I begin? There's a report going on saying that the revival was asking for the release. And if I'm WWE at this point, if you don't have any plans at all for the revival, get rid of them. Either get rid of them or send them back down to NXT. That's my just honest opinion here. If you don't have no concrete plans for the revival, either let them go or send them back down to NXT. Honestly. Now, there's a report going on saying that the revival were asking for the release following their matchup against the Lucha House Party on Raw Monday night. Can you blame the revival? No. No, and here's my prediction what's going to happen. Oh, the revival asked for the release. They're not going to grant it to them. So what's going to happen here? Monday Night on Raw, we're probably going to get a silly announcement saying that Rude and Gable will defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the revival. And that's when Rude and Gable will lose the Raw Tag Team titles to the revival. Watch this happen. And if this does happen, you're going to refer back to this video and say, damn, Chris was right. Chris was right. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since 1996, folks. I've seen this shit happen times before. I have no words to say about Vince and WWE at this point. At this point, like I said, if you have no concrete plans for anybody else on the main roster, either let them go or go back down or send them back down to NXT. That's just my honest opinion here. That just honestly is. I heard that the revival were asking for their release. I heard something about the Ascension. I don't know if that's true or not. Something about the Ascension asking for their release. Mike and Maria Kanellis asking for their release and shit. Dolph Ziggler asking for his release. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I honestly have no idea what in the blue hell is going on. But whatever it is, at this point, I just want to see those people happy. At this point. Yeah, sure, the money is good, but money isn't everything. Especially in this world, money isn't everything. And if you want to be happy and be treated with respect, go to AEW. Yeah, sure, you got that 90-day no compete clause in the contract. But you got to think about it this way. WrestleVote said, oh, this is the worst time right now to be asking for the release. No! No, and I'm gonna say this now that JD said on Off the Script Part 1 yesterday. He said, oh, it's the perfect time to ask for a release. I agree with him. I agree with JD for what he said. Because think about it this way. You ask for a release and they give it to you. You have a 90-day no-compete clause in your contract. That's 3 months. Right now we're in January. You got February, March, and April. By the time April rolls around, after WrestleMania, AEW is going to be having their first show in Las Vegas for Double or Nothing. And who knows who can show up there? Who knows who can show up? It's just that people nowadays don't take a chance with themselves. Take a chance with yourself. Look what Cody Rhodes did. Cody asked for his release from Vince. Vince gave it to him because Vince wanted Cody to be Stardust for the rest of his fucking career. Cody said no. He wanted to be himself, so Vince said fuck off. Cody asked for his release. Vince let him go. Now look what Cody Rhodes is at now. Cody is one of the biggest names right now in the indie wrestling market. He's one of the biggest names now. Cody took a chance at himself with the indies, and Cody even said this himself. Cody is making more money in the indies than he ever made with WWE. It's because now Cody Rhodes now is a top name. He's one of those big names now in the indies. Can you blame Cody for taking a chance at himself? No. If I'm people like the Revival, Dolph Ziggler, or anybody else who's asking for the release, and they give it to you, which I highly doubt that they won't, because let's say, for example, the Revival, Dolph Ziggler, Mike Kanellis, they ask for the release, and Vince gives it to them. They have that 90-day no compete clause in their contract. They can't compete for the next 3 months. When that 3 months expire, guess where they're going to go to? A company known as AEW. They're just going to sit there, call up Cody and the Young Bucks. Hey, yo, you got any space for me over there in the freaking AEW? I'm on my way, bro. Vegas in May, double or nothing, on my way. That's it. That's honestly it. At this point, money isn't everything. Respect is one of the most valuable things in life. Is respect. What can I say? What the fuck can I say? Do I blame the Revival? No. You want to know why they're asking for the release? Because of how they're being booked on the main roster. Yeah, sure, injuries may have cost them some TV time, but at the end of the day, it's the fucking Revival. This is the same Revival team that had probably the match of the year in 2016 against Ciampa and Gargano in that best 2 out of 3 falls match back at NXT TakeOver Toronto for the NXT Tag Team titles. Go watch that match. That was the greatest match the Revival has ever put on, has ever fought in, against Gargano and Ciampa. Go watch that match back at NXT TakeOver Toronto. Go watch that match. Go watch that match. Anyway, guys, welcome, guys, back up to the channel. I am your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is episode number 2 of the Wrestling Fan Podcast. Today, I have, I think, around seven articles for you guys today. I have 7 stories for you guys for today. We'll go over the Revival. They reportedly requested a release from WWE. What happened? We'll find out here. WWE superstars being told existing contracts will be doubled. Vince McMahon right now on his latest act of desperation to keep his superstars happy. Dolph Ziggler moving on from WWE. We'll find out what happens here. Kevin Owens is expected to return after WrestleMania 35. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, we fucking miss you. Also, here on the podcast today, a new match has been added to NXT TakeOver Phoenix. What match is that? You'll find out here. Why did WWE have Alexa Bliss go topless on Raw Monday night? And I got news, people. I got news on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is all but signed with AEW. You guys don't want to miss this action-packed episode here on episode number 2 of the Wrestling Fan Podcast right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Guys, if you guys haven't checked it out already, I've uploaded a ton of freaking videos this week. I got Raw review, SmackDown review, NXT review, Throwback Thursday. We reviewed the 2010 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. That's also up on the channel. And yesterday, which was Friday, you guys got a Flashback Friday NXT TakeOver review. I did NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. It was so good, I had to watch it twice. That's how good it was. Check out all those uploads, guys. All the links to those videos will be down below in the description. If you guys are enjoying this podcast, guys, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to comment down below what you guys think of the podcast. Also, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that bell for all notifications. And let's begin episode number 2 of the Wrestling Fan Podcast right here on YouTube. We're going to begin with the Revival, man. The Revival reportedly requested their release from WWE. Since the Revival got called up to the main roster back in early 2017, they haven't really made the impact they once did when they were down in NXT. No fucking shit. Aside from a lot of time out due to injury, both Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder have been subject has been subject to poor booking and an underwhelming push. You don't say. Today, there are a number of reports that suggested the Revival requested the release from WWE following their match against the Lucha House Party back on Raw this past Monday night. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com has noted that his source said he has reason to be very fearful that the Revival are done or finishing up with the company after something went down on Raw. He added, and I quote, "A release is anything but guaranteed, and our sources were quick to point out that everything is handled on a case-to-case basis." End quote. The situation is unfolding, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. If the Revival is indeed finished with WWE, they have no shortage of offers, and no doubt All Elite Wrestling will have their eyes on the duo. At this point, All Elite Wrestling has eyes. They're like four snipers. They're like 4-away snipers. They're just peeking out what's on the radar and everything. And if they see something that's free and available, they shoot their shot. They shoot their shot. I think, honestly, my honest opinion, if the Revival do get the release, they're going to AEW. Can you imagine a match with the Revival versus the Young Bucks? Sign me up for that. Sign me the fuck up. I would love to see a match between the Revival and the Young Bucks. And they even went at it on Twitter. It should be there on Twitter somewhere. It should be there. But the Revival reportedly asking for the release. I think if they do get it, they go to AEW. WWE superstars being told existing contracts will be doubled. Now, this is Vince McMahon's latest act of desperation to keep his superstars happy. No, I'm not buying this, not one bit. Vince is just doubling up everybody's contract money so that way they don't sign with AEW. Yet there's gonna be people in the community that say, "Oh, Vince shouldn't be worried about AEW." Bitch, he is. Bitch, he is. Let me say this now. If All Elite Wrestling gets a TV deal, which no doubtly they will, it's just a matter of with who. Now I'm hearing reports going on that they might sign with either TBS or TNT on Tuesday nights with Tuesday Night Dynamite. Let me say this now. If they get that TV deal, this will be Monday Night Wars 2.0. I'm saying this right now. And that's how I feel about it. Now, will All Elite Wrestling compete with WWE? I've heard people like Jericho said they're not trying to compete with WWE. They're trying to make a difference. And I believe that wholeheartedly. You don't have to go compete against the juggernaut that is WWE. Yeah, sure. Vince and his whole company are a global phenomenon. Yes, I'll give you that. And AEW, they're on the rebel. They're on the rising. It's only a matter of time before AEW wants to really declare war on WWE. It's only a matter of time. They say this now. Oh, they're not trying to compete with them. But once they get some of their guys from WWE, then that is when you strike on WWE. It's my honest opinion. But Vince McMahon's superstars being told that existing contracts will be doubled. All Elite Wrestling has officially launched, and the WWE is already feeling the heat. You're damn right they will. Because for the first time since WCW folded, wrestlers have many options available to them outside the company. Ring of Honor paid a significant amount to sign Rush, and New Japan has locked some of their talent in with longer contracts. AEW has the backing of Tony Khan, which I respect, by the way, and is able to offer massive contracts to sign big names. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer is reporting that the WWE told its superstars that if they can show that they have received an offer on paper from another wrestling company, then the company known as WWE will not only beat it but double it on the spot if they sign their deal immediately. Apparently, WWE did not offer enough to sign Chris Jericho because he signed to a 3-year deal with AEW and says the deal is the best one he's ever signed. Meltzer also adds that McMahon is trying to avoid the idea that people want to leave and don't want wrestlers thinking they can make better money by going elsewhere. You're damn right they're going to make more money if they go to AEW. You're damn right they are. So if I'm Vince right now, you cannot afford any of the WWE superstars. You can't lose them. You can't lose them. You lose the revival, it's going to start a domino effect. Once they leave, once they get their freaking release, everybody who's not happy in their position right now in the company, they're going to ask for the release, and it's going to turn into the biggest domino effect ever. For example, Finn Balor was being booked very poorly in 2018. Now all of a sudden with AEW officially launching, Finn getting a push. I wonder why Finn is all of a sudden getting a push. I wonder why. And mind you, we haven't seen the Demon, if you want to be real about it, since SummerSlam. We haven't seen the Demon since SummerSlam. Realistically, since 2017, because back at SummerSlam when Finn had that match against Bray Wyatt, that match only lasted, 30 seconds? Or I think it was against Baron Corbin. I'm not too sure who it was against. I mean, that's how much I didn't care about it. But I heard that match only lasted, 30 seconds? Around 30 seconds. I think it was against Baron Corbin. I think it was against Corbin. I think it was. Because the year prior, Corbin went on against John Cena. So yeah, I think it was against Baron Corbin back at SummerSlam. All of a sudden now, Finn's getting a push. I wonder why. Finn is also one of the superstars that's not being pushed, has not been booked properly. Now all of a sudden he's getting a push. Andrade Cien Almas also all of a sudden he's getting a push. After his victory against Rey Mysterio this past Tuesday on SmackDown, all of a sudden he's getting a push. What can I say about that? This is Vince's latest act of desperation to keep his superstars happy. And at this point, if I'm Vince, you cannot afford to lose any other superstar. Just can't. Dolph Ziggler. Is he moving on from WWE? Let's see what happens here. After he turned down an offer to become a producer, there's speculation that Dolph Ziggler may be moving on from WWE, according to PW Insider. He completely removed the Dolph Ziggler name from his social media accounts and is set to appear on a comedy tour. Sources have said to PW Insider that Ziggler remains under WWE contract. While some have denied that he's leaving the company, others have suggested that he'll be done on January 31st. He hasn't appeared on television since late last month when he lost to Drew McIntyre in a steel cage match on Raw. And he has reportedly not been on the road with the company in recent weeks. He's done. Dolph is done. When it comes to the past 10 years, the most improving superstar is Dolph Ziggler. It's Dolph Ziggler. I think he's done with WWE. I think he's done. I think he will most likely wait out the 90-day no compete clause. He'll end up signing with AEW. That's it. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, I love Dolph Ziggler. I love him. But he hasn't been showing me lately that he cares. Maybe him going to AEW could be a recharge for his career. Let's see what happens. Kevin Owens, somebody who I dearly miss on Monday Night Raw, expected to return after WrestleMania 35. Kevin Owens may be off of television for just a few more months, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter. WWE did recently air a returning soon video for his return. But word is that the current plan is to wait to bring him back to TV after WrestleMania 35 in early April. Bring Kevin Owens back on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Bring him back. Can you imagine the pop that he would get at Barclays Center after WrestleMania? Now, Raw will be at Barclays Center after WrestleMania. The Raw after WrestleMania will be in Barclays Center, and you know how that crowd is. Especially the crowd on the night after WrestleMania, it's gonna get crazy. I would wait till Kevin Owens. I would wait for his return until the Raw after WrestleMania. There's no word yet on if he'll be working live events, but it's not likely. He's been out of action since October after undergoing surgery on both knees. He's expected to be cleared fairly soon, according to the Observer. Like I said, bring him back on the Raw after WrestleMania. That's how I book Kevin Owens. And also, not only Owens and Sami Zayn could really do good in the tag team division, have them go for singles runs. Have Owens go back compete for the Universal title. Or have Sami Zayn compete for the Universal title. Or have Owens and Zayn also compete for the Intercontinental title. At the same time, they can go after the Raw Tag Team titles, and also at the same time, they can go after singles titles. That's how good those two men are. New match added for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Now, NXT TakeOver Phoenix is next Saturday. NXT already has, I believe, four matches. They already have 4 matches, but as when was it? The 17th? Yeah. So Thursday, NXT added another match for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Now, it has been reported that Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno has been added to the card for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Now, I think that matchup, if anything, that matchup will kick off TakeOver. The event happens on January 26th, the night before the Royal Rumble. Now, here's the updated card as we speak. Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, that's the one-on-one match. We got the NXT Tag Titles between the War Raiders and Undisputed Era's Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. We got the NXT North American Championship match between Ricochet and Johnny Gargano. The NXT Women's Title match between Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair. And the NXT Championship match between Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa. Which match are you most looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Gargano versus Ricochet for the North American title. That matchup will steal the show, guys. That matchup, Gargano versus Ricochet, give them 20 minutes. Classic. Absolute classic. Alexa Bliss. Now, if you guys saw what happened on Raw Monday night, right before the Moment with Bliss segment, where Alexa Bliss announced the women's tag team titles and where it will be defended at, it will be defended in the Chamber in 4 weeks' time in Houston, Texas, at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. Now, why did WWE have Alexa Bliss go topless on Raw Monday night? The Alexa Bliss topless segment, which took place on Raw Monday night, was reportedly designed to push the envelope and create a buzz. Segments like this were commonplace back on television during the Attitude Era. Remember Sable? Jacqueline? Ooh, just warms my heart. The segment has drawn some criticism for being out of place with today's current product, and many felt it was an execution was awkward. Despite this, the segment has been viewed over 3 million times on YouTube and remains one of the broadcast's most watched segments to date. So if it was a buzz WWE wanted, they certainly achieved it. I think it's just a desperation act for people like Alexa Bliss to be relevant again. You know, she hasn't been wrestling in a while. I think it's just for her to get attention. Do you care about Alexa Bliss? I sure don't. Yeah, sure, she's great on the microphone. but she can't take a bump for shit. Honestly. But I don't know why they did this. It felt awkward on Raw Monday Night. It just felt awkward. I don't know why they did this, but like I said, if it was a buzz that the company won, they certainly achieved it. That's all I gotta say on that. Finally, guys, to end episode 2 on the Wrestling Fan Podcast, Kenny Omega. I got news on Kenny Omega, by the way. All but signed with AEW. Since the announcement of All Elite Wrestling, the battle for the world's top stars has hotted up, and that have never been more obvious in the case of Mr. Kenny Omega himself. The former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion rocked the world by announcing he will be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling at the end of his contract at the end of January, which is January 31st, and started the guessing game, either WWE or AEW. Well, despite WWE reportedly offering him a staggering amount of money to sign with them, it appears that he'll be reuniting with his Elite brothers and signing with All Elite Wrestling. Excuse me. Speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that at a Tokyo Sports dinner earlier this week, Omega made a speech where he made it clear that he had all but signed with AEW. The signature of Omega is a huge get for All Elite Wrestling, who are very much in the phase of establishing themselves as a global promotion that can compete on the world stage. If they can continue to get big names as Omega, which will be added to the likes of Pac and Chris Jericho, if and when he signs, then you will really have to start believing that the promotion could be the first to rival WWE since WCW. I think Omega will sign with AEW. Listen, Mr. Kenny Omega, sir. Mr. Kenny Omega, sir, the greatest wrestler in the world, next to AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and Tommaso Ciampa. You saw the first Raw of 2019, right? And you're watching the show, and you gotta think to yourself this question. Do I want to be on this piece of crap show known as Monday Night Raw? Yeah, sure, the money sounds good and everything, but you're not giving me creative control over my character? Nah. I bet you money AEW offered him more money and creative control over his character. I just think Omega will sign with AEW. That's just my honest opinion. Omega coming to the WWE? No. It won't happen. It won't happen. My honest opinion, I think Omega will go to AEW. Like I said before, if Kenny wanted the money way before then, if he wanted the money, he would have gone to WWE to begin with. And I've said this before, and many of you guys would agree with me. The top guy in professional wrestling is not in WWE. He's not on Raw. He's not on SmackDown. Hell, he's not even in NXT. The top guy, the number one man in all of professional wrestling is Kenny Omega. And he's about to sign with AEW. Now, I gotta ask myself this question. Who's gonna be the first AEW World Champion? Hangman Page? Pac? Jericho? Omega? Who knows? But I'm gonna be invested in AEW, and I'm sure you guys will be invested in AEW too. Thank you guys so much for watching episode number 2 of the Wrestling Fan Podcast right here on YouTube. If you guys enjoyed episode 2 of this podcast, guys, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast today on this Saturday. Also, guys, please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that bell for all notifications. Show your support on the channel. Please, you got Raw review, SmackDown review, NXT review, a 2010 Royal Rumble Throwback Thursday pay-per-view review on the channel. Also, I did a Flashback Friday NXT TakeOver review, which was NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. That is all on the channel. All links to those videos will be down below in the description down below. I don't know what I got for you guys tomorrow. If any news breaks out on Sunday, which will be tomorrow, I will hit you guys with episode 3. If not, I will not upload on Sunday. I want to relax. I want to enjoy Championship Sunday with the Saints and the Rams playing for the NFC Championship, and the Patriots and the Chiefs competing for the AFC Championship, for those two teams going on to the Super Bowl. I just want to relax, guys. Monday, we'll start fresh and new Monday with Raw reviews, SmackDown, NXT, Throwback Thursday. Friday, next week, Friday, I will give you guys a NXT TakeOver Phoenix and Royal Rumble preview and predictions. Be sure on the lookout for that, guys, for Friday. Next Saturday, I will give you guys NXT TakeOver Phoenix review. Then next Sunday, I will give you guys Royal Rumble review. There will be no podcast episode 3 next week. Unless if something breaks out tomorrow, I will give you guys episode 3 tomorrow on Sunday. If there is news on Sunday, I will give you guys episode 3, and there will be no episode 4 next week. If not, there will be no upload Sunday. I will give you guys episode 3 in 2 weeks' time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button down below. I will see you guys probably either tomorrow or Monday, unless if something breaks out. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. I'll see you guys on Monday for our review. Talk to you guys later.